So I just have returned from the faculty. The video of her reaction to my arrival will be posted, I think, sometime next week. But yeah, and yeah, a package with Liza's food arrived today, which is good because for several days now Liza is refusing to eat her food. Basically, I think the problem is the same old cans were we basically only one kind of canned meat we still have, and so I think she's now used to variety, and even with cooked vegetables and other things she wouldn't eat it. She still eats treats and so forth, and cooked meat, and I don't know what else, and those kibble that she has. So she's good, but yeah, she doesn't want to eat any more of those same old cans. So we got some new mixed variety, mixed brands that I got for Liza. So today is Friday the 20th of March. Yeah, TJ is upstairs. Apparently when I left for the faculty he was barking and basically complaining that I left without him, and then my mother made him to go upstairs to sleep, and Liza stayed downstairs outside and she was waiting for me. So yeah, what's new here in Ljubljana or Slovenia regarding this coronavirus? We have some more than 300 cases now, still only one fatality. Those new strict measures that I mentioned before, so 5 people or less, up to 5 people can publicly congregate. So this law measure came in effect at midnight today. So they were planning to enforce it already on Wednesday, but yeah, it took them some time to prepare the law. What else? Basically all the stores, non-essential stores, are closed. Only food stores, grocery stores, fruit and veg stores are allowed to be open. I don't know. I think that dog stores, animal food related stores are closed, which is problem. That's why I ordered online, and those basically are still allowed to work, function. So online shopping and delivery. What else? There is a new legislation measure regarding those grocery stores. They have to be open for at least 12 hours per day, so from at least 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. and for the first 2 hours all the risk groups like elderly, chronically ill, invalids or whatever, from 8 until 10 a.m. those groups, those people have the priority in going to the store. So stores should have had like security guards or some personnel to monitor the frequency or the quantity of people entering into the shops, and those should also enforce that in the morning hours the priority groups, the risk groups, have the priority in access to the stores. So, as we could all read in the media, in online journals, let's say, especially in the UK, you can read about that there is basically a mass panic buying and elderly cannot get to the essential food groups. So there basically isn't a lot of panic buying here in Slovenia. The only thing that there are not available anymore are those disinfective wipes, pumps, sprays, gels, and whatever. And also there is now law measure that only state can buy these, so, and allocate them, or the priority of purchasing is going to the health centers, hospitals, and so forth, to the health system. Anything else? Basically self-isolation. They are emphasizing to stay at home, but as you can see, people are still going around. It's basically, it feels like Saturday morning, not like midweek day. But yeah, perhaps one of interesting or sad stories regarding this coronavirus in Slovenia. So there is a place, Šmarje pri Jelšah. It's a small place, basically a larger village or small town, about 1800 people, and this place is the major hotspot for the virus. More than 100 cases, so more than one third of the cases are recorded in that town. How did this happen? So in the beginning of the March, a teacher in the local elementary school went to a skiing trip in Italy, so in northern Italy. At that time there were already virus spreading there. There were, quarantine measures for some municipalities that were hit the hardest in Italy, but people still went for ski holidays, ski trips, and the teacher also came back. She resumed teaching. She started to show signs. Her other colleagues became, freaked out, concerned. They said to her that she shouldn't be teaching. She didn't want to stop teaching. She still continued to go to school teaching and going to, socializing, to stores, walking around and going to the library and so forth. And the headmaster of the school didn't want to basically enforce or made her to go home in self-isolation, and basically this continued on for some time, for some days, until one of the other employees basically became a whistleblower and notified about her the public health service. They basically came and tested her, and she was of course positive. She then went home. That headmaster actually wanted to discipline the whistleblower, put it on a disciplinary measure against her, but there was basically a public outrage against that. So yeah, but then basically it became apparent that kids in her class became infected. They spread the virus to other children in other classes, and those to basically to their parents. And yeah, this is how one person could infect the whole basically place, whole settlement of people. And yeah, And this week there was already news that several employees and residents in the local old folks home became sick, and they were confirmed that they had the virus. So, you know, elderly are the most vulnerable to this virus, so hopefully it will be all right. I think we have like 6 critical cases currently in our ICUs, and I think 3 or 4 are very critically already. The doctor said they are basically there is a possibility that they can die at any moment. So yeah, there was basically a lot of cases reported of public employees like teachers, doctors, politicians, judges that still in the late February or early March went to ski trips in Italy and got infected and came home and spread the disease. But yeah, so far there were no basically consequences for them regarding or from the police or health inspection. I think that on Wednesday or yesterday they fined one of the restaurants that was still open, but yeah, that was the only measures that was in place so far, or punitive measure. And yeah, with Liza and TJ we are still going for our morning and evening walk. We basically just walk, we don't socialize with others. Also older, let's say regular dogs and dog walkers, dog owners that we meet usually in the mornings or evenings, they are gone or not present, or they change the time when they're walking, or most likely they left for their countryside, for their like weekend house. But yeah, fortunately fortunately for us, it's fortunately that we have a great weather, so Liza and TJ can be outside for the whole day. But this great weather that we are having also means that people are not staying at home, and they are still going out, not only for walks, you know, by themselves, but, you know, meeting other people, going to the the very popular public places like Cosese Pond, which we already shown several videos of there, and there basically it's packed, you know, not 5 meters no 5 meter separation between the people. But yeah, some people do not understand what self-isolation means. I think most people now self-isolation consider as basically a additional holiday when they can go around and basically get some recreation time and so forth, but they're still not, you know, being health conscious to others, even if they aren't affected. But yeah, that's it. Anything else? No, basically it's the same. Perhaps, yeah, I think I had already mentioned that university has already extended this self-isolation or work from home directive until the basically mid-April. So I think and then basically we have, I think the Easter holidays are just around there. So there is basically a quite high possibility that we'll be at home until basically May. We will see how this disease will spread. So far we had basically like 30 to 40 new cases per day. So it wasn't so bad like in Italy when they have you know, 100% increase per day of new cases, including deaths. But yeah, So far we are constant, but the figure hasn't dropped. Hopefully the people will soon realize that the sooner they stay at home for a long period, the sooner this infection will die out. Basically the borders are basically closed. They every day I think they organize basically a humanitarian convoy, so that the foreign, let's say, foreign truck drivers, buses, and also, you know, individual cars are basically formed in a convoy with escort from the police, and our highway administration are then escorted through the Slovenian territory to the basically their the next border crossing, international border crossing. Usually that means they are basically coming from Italy and going to Hungary or Croatia. And yeah, so yeah, that's organized. Last evening, our prime minister, the new prime minister, so during this weekend we have the change in the government. The new prime minister also told that there will be he will call up the volunteer reserve of the Slovenian armed forces to supplement, and the Minister of Interior requested that for the special measure that the military will augment or supplement the police at the border, at border guarding, so they can use them elsewhere, or basically they can put they can have some more, you know, rest time. But yeah, basically still calm, no looting or anything like that, no parties. Well, yeah, this week there was a report of one party that I think happened last week. So 24 people came together to celebrate something. Nobody was sick, nobody was showing symptoms at that point. They were hanging for a couple of hours, and this week I think, or late last week, then the people got sick and they were tested, and now 21 of 24 people are confirmed to be infected with the coronavirus. Yeah, the only 3 people that weren't infected were those that came late or left early, so they weren't so long in the same room with others. But yeah, it's highly contagious. And yesterday also released the statistics regarding age groups that were infected, or people from the age groups, how they were infected. So we have from kids to elderly, but the most infected group are basically my age group, so from 30 to 49. There are more than 100 cases of infected, but you know, most of the people from this age group are mainly not they are just infected, they are spreaders and not seriously ill as the elderly. But yeah, there was even some cases in the age group between 0 and 15 years old, so children and early teenagers, twins or whatever they are called. So yeah, that's it from today. Hopefully that you are okay wherever you are, and that the virus hasn't got hold of you or your family. Bye.